Instagram.
Just start typing.
There it is. Mm-hmm.
That's it. Well, turn it the other way.
I know, but.
There you go.
But are we? We can't go live on that one. Just.
Yeah, we can't. You just record.
10 minutes. All right, we're live. Hey, Ernesto, what's up, man? How you doing?
So, do you want to set this up so we can see who's on?
Yeah, it would be nice. Do you have your Instagram on this one?
Yeah, just start typing it. Not Instagram.
Hey, you know what? I can spell some days. I can't spell the word some days, but I can spell some days. 7 comments, 100 likes. What the heck did you do? Weird. All right. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. Should be showing us live on that end, but it's not.
You don't have to click on anything?
Should be right here at the top. You know why? Because this isn't the one. This isn't your profile. Nope. I don't think it's any of these that you have on here. On Facebook.
That.
Yeah, you don't have the actual Instagram account on that one.
And just click add Instagram account.
Log into existing account.
Mark more locks.
I don't think so.
Just put M, mark more L. Go back one. Now just click on the top up there, right there. No, right there. I don't think that's it either.
Because this is Safe Crackers, the one that we're looking for. But it's not on this one. Okay, well, I think we're going to have to go without it. Alright, hold on, everybody. Hey, how's it going, guys? Wave.
So why can't I see that without logging on here? Just go into the live.
Because you have to be attached to my account. You can't just be on any account because you have to be friends with my account to see my stuff.
Oh.
So
this is only to your friends. It doesn't go out to everybody.
I don't know if it goes out to everybody, but I know it just like for right now, it's like I would have to. Well, I guess I could look for it real quick on yours. God dang it. Hold on, we're having technical difficulties. Give me 2 seconds here. 2 seconds. So look for All right. Sorry, guys. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties right now. We're setting up. I was running late tonight. Well, he was running late. I was running late. Everyone was running late. There we go. Oh, we're good now?
No, I don't know. That was just...
No, it's, so just go here and go, really. Ford RC. Live. Cool. There we go. Now we're back in programming mode. My wife stopped in. Hey, baby. Hello.
Anyone watching can see that you're watching too.
Yeah, so. Alright, guys. Sorry about that. We were running a little behind tonight, just trying to get things together. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, so some people won't even look at this because they'll be busy with other stuff, but I'm not a football fan anymore, so I figured what the heck. So wanted to go over some stuff tonight, which oddly enough I left on my phone, so that was dumb of me. But what we were going to talk about was, I just wanted to talk about a couple things that are upcoming. So I looked up some events this weekend to see, what events were coming up, and it looks like we're going to have, Pro Line by the Fire is coming up, and Axial Fest West and Pro Line by the Fire. Those are the two main events that are coming on. I looked to see if we had any Sorka events coming up. We don't currently have anything right now for Sorka events that are scheduled that I've seen. And comp-wise, there's nothing really coming up, crawler-wise. So I just thought I would poke that out there. It looks like July is going to be Axial Fest West, and then August will be Pro Line by the Fire. So I thought we would talk about that stuff a little bit, just to kind of give some information on that one. And then, I don't know, what else?
Well, I don't know where everybody's from, but just so they know, we're from Monterey County, and so we're just talking about what we see locally here, but also, what shops are local to us, just things that we, what are local to us, and that we can help our local guys and get together with them, but also get to know, everybody on that. I mean, there's events everywhere, but just right here, what's going on.
Well, when I'm talking about events, I'm talking about Northern California. So basically from, I would say, Mid-Valley of like the San Joaquin Valley on the other side, and like Salinas Valley up to like San Jose, Stockton, Sacramento, that type of thing. I have been looking to see what events were coming up. I looked for teasers to see what was coming up for new releases from companies and stuff like that. It doesn't look like right now is a hot time for any of that stuff, so I didn't see any new releases. I know that they just dropped the new carpet car kit, the B7 from Team Associated, which I'm actually interested in. I like to do that, so that's something that I'd like to get into doing, is doing carpet car racing. And then also too, here in a few minutes, we're going to bring on one of the team drivers for G-Speed, which is Tyrone Dunkley, or Black Sheep Scaler here on Instagram. We're going to ask him some questions. We actually have a list of questions, which now looking at it is going to be real hard to get to because it's on the phone, which is over there. So poor planning on my part.
So can you put it on here?
Yeah, we can pull it up on here. But yeah.
Can you send it to here, and then we can...
What's in your text messages? I texted it to you.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be on there. So we'll be able to use his laptop or his tablet over here to actually see that, which we will have Tyrone on in about 5 minutes. He's on right now. What's up, Tyrone? Hey, everybody. So yeah, so we want to just keep doing this show. We're trying to make it better and trying to make it...
That's only what? Show 3, show 2, show 3, really together, show 3. Show 4 for you.
I think it's show 5, actually.
Well, actually, show 4.
We talked about doing this for a long time, and we didn't. We were like,
This isn't our gig, so, we're like playing with the cars and everything else, so we have to learn cameras and lighting and,
Instagram
and...
Facebook, YouTube, Google, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. So, do you want me to pull him up on here?
No, well, we're going to slice him in on the main one.
Okay, so you got it figured out how to do that.
Well, he just asks to join, and then we put him on, and then we can ask him questions.
Okay.
Which at that point, I think I'm going to turn the camera around for that, because yours is about a half second behind, and I want to be able to track it. Not sure why it's like that, but it's weird. The lives are not exactly live, I guess. They have enough time to censor you if they want to.
Well, that's went up and back down, so...
Yeah, I mean, so it is what it is. But so let's see, what else is there? So we're just gonna go over some questions with Tyrone. That'll be, because he's gonna be our first guest. So that's one thing that we definitely want to do, is we want to have guests on, and then we want to ask them questions. I've been thinking of people that I want to have on. I'd like to have Gabe from G Speed. I'd like to have the guy who runs Zoku. The guy who runs IERC, the guys that run Rock Pirates, and ask them questions and ask them, what their go-to manufacturer is, who they like, are they a Traxxas person or an Element, or, Axial, or they only Vanquished, they only like their stuff, what exactly they like and how they like to set their rigs up and what their perfect rig would be, so as to get a good gauge for kind of where these guys that have really made the hobby their own are at. And I want to also make some smaller part vendors. I need to have some conversations with a couple of them because it's going to be hard, because I need to have people to have Instagram for the Instagram show, but it's kind of difficult because if I don't have Instagram, I have to figure out how to put them on the screen. And as you can tell, I'm not a dinosaur, but I'm not exactly computer savvy. I'm not like, I just can't whip it out. It doesn't happen like that. It's kind of a slow, steady process for us. Yeah.
We're live. Hey, Ernesto, what's up, man? How you doing?
And now the other phone is stopped and is. There you go.
So you can start recording again, I think.
All right, we're live.
Hey. Gotta love that thing. It's like it started recording and then started playing it back. We're like, okay. So yeah, we gotta work with that out.
Yeah. All right. Well, turn that thing around. Let's call
Call Tyrone.
your first victim.
My first victim. He's not a victim.
Tyrone.
Tyrone is a pretty good guy, man. He's been helpful from the very beginning. Hey Tyrone, if you want to send us out, looks like he's accept.
Hello? Anybody there?
What is going on? We are live right here. We are with Whitey Ford RC. How we doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Hey,
Good, man.
That's the spirit.
What's crack-a-lacking with you folks?
We're just hanging out. Thought we would have you on. We wanted to get into talking to drivers and team people and owners.
Hell yeah.
Owners, the whole nine.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Bluetooth connected.
Shout out to Rescue. I see Rescue's joining now. You'll probably have a bunch of people that are joining with me joining on, so that's awesome.
That's good, man, because that's what we want. We want to have a good conversation and have it where we got the people on here and we're talking and learning and just growing. And
You're looking over.
froze. Well, I think we both froze here.
Are you on my internet?
Huh?
Are you on my internet? I don't know what's going on.
Hold on.
Sometimes, hey, well, just to let you know, sometimes when you're on Wi-Fi, it gets a little choppy. So I usually turn my Wi-Fi off when I go live. So
I would do that, but where my dad lives, it's not exactly conducive because there is no internet. Our cell phone service out here.
it's okay.
So it's kind of like
It's okay. It's okay.
we might have some technical glitches. Can we put you down?
What's up,
So-
Rescue?
What's going on, Rescue? Welcome to the live.
Hell yeah.
Text messages.
So what are we up to tonight?
Well, we're just gonna ask you a few questions, and then just get your feedback on some stuff, and then figure out where you're at. And I wrote down some questions and sent them to my dad here earlier, so he's just pulling them up now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to go ahead and give you a second to introduce yourself,
Hell
and then
yeah.
we'll start asking questions.
Well, man, I'm Tyrone Dunkley. I'm from Northern California. I call it far NorCal because, some people call Northern California like the Bay Area, but we're actually way up here in Northern California, almost about 45 minutes. Actually about an hour and a half from the Oregon border. So we're definitely far NorCal. So yeah. And I drive for G Speed as well as Castle and Three Brothers and a few of the other brands out there, Hardcore RC, and just out here just trying to do my thing and represent the companies that really have taken care of me and the companies that I've actually loved prior to me even being a team driver. That's mainly the big part for me is I'm actually honored to drive for the companies that I already loved before I was ever a team driver, before I ever met a team owner, before I ever met anybody. I was already like bought in and owned these products and love these products and use these products way before I was ever even talked to about any sponsorship. So that's the main thing for me is you have to love the product that you're driving for. You have to love the product that you're buying, and before you can sit there and try to help somebody else with it. So that's basically where I'm at with it.
Okay. I like that. That's good and passionate, and that's what you have to be if you're going to do
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
If you don't have passion, you won't go very far. So, if you want to go ahead and ask him question one there, Dad, if you can see it.
Well, it's just how'd it happen? You kind of went over a little bit, but how'd you get involved in the whole rock crawling and
Actually,
competition?
I have to give huge shout out to, he's not even on Instagram, he's on Facebook, but Jack Turner is one of the main guys that got me into rock crawling. Before I was even had a rock crawler in my hand. My first RC was actually a 2-wheel drive Slash as a basher truck, and just like a going out there and being a kid again, and just driving a truck all freaking crazy and jumping off of dirt jumps and breaking the body in half and doing all that shit that I didn't get to do when I was a kid. So that's what got me into being back into RC. I think that was initially the seed that was dropped in the dirt. And once I really got my head wrapped around where RC was and is now, that's where it really turned me on. I was into high performance equipment, stereo equipment. So it was kind of like I went from being into hardcore stereo equipment to actually taking a rewind and going back into my childhood and getting and falling back in love with RCs again, at a higher level. Because when I had RCs when I was a kid, I had like hand me downs. I had, your buddy had an RC and he was like, or a couple RCs, and built out of whatever pieces, and RCs were way more complicated back then. Back in the Radio Shack days, like the original
I
RC10s
was
and
gonna.
um, actually the first RCs that I ever even saw in a store, period, were at Radio Shack. I went into a Radio Shack and I saw all these like high tech everything. I walked in and I was like, I was like an ADHD kid on like just high on everything. There was lights and strobes and RC cars and crazy, stereo equipment back then. Like, it's crazy. But that's what really got me into RC is kind of remembering all that stuff that I saw back in those days and how high I got off of that, or that mental high, I should say, off of that whole tech world and RCs and stereos and all that kind of stuff. So for me, it kind of all falls in line together. As far as the passion that I have for RC is the same passion I had for stereo equipment and things like that. And it's all stuff that came from my teenage childhood and just, that kind of thing. So now that I'm older and work full time and can afford to have nice, crazy ass builds, that's kind of where I'm at. So I'm able to actually not only be in radio controlled, which is definitely an expense in itself. I can afford to do the things that make RC even more fun, which is traveling and spending time with all the people and meeting amazing people like Whitey Ford here at RC. I met him at a swap meet after we had already talked and chatted and seen each other on Instagram, and now we're having interactions, and we've actually met each other and was able to shake hands, and it brings a whole world of people together that I think, and also places that we would have never seen before if it wasn't for radio controlled trucks. So that is definitely something that really is kind of really changed my whole outlook on life. It's added to my outlook on life as far as it's crazy because all these people are just such good, cool people, and we're all just good, like just guys that just are in their garages just wrenching on little things and tinkering on little things. And whether you're building a wood fixture for your house, whether you're building RC trucks, whether you're tinker on an old 8-track player, it's like we're all just guys tinkering on little things. And for me, it's like a puzzle. It's like I get to build this puzzle now. Now that I got the whole idea of how an RC truck works and starting out with a TRX4 was my first crawler, and learning all the aspects of that TRX4. Now I know I can build a truck, and so now 22 trucks later, I've built a crazy room full of RC trucks, and they're all crazy upgraded and all different. Like every single truck I've ever built has to be different, or it's a waste of money. You shouldn't even be building another truck, unless you're building something different, like something that's bringing you to a whole nother world or another aspect of that. Because I mean, if you're just building the same truck, you're just building the same truck.
Yeah.
So you really should be elevating your own individual game. So if you've built one truck with straight axle AR-44s, okay, well, now it's time to build a truck with AR-45 portals, or it's time to build a truck with a T-case and a forward motor mount. It's time to build a truck with trailing arms and IFS suspension. It's time to build, you got to elevate your levels. Like, you got to be building different things, or don't build it. It's not don't build it, really don't build it, but you really should be trying to elevate your individual game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So when you're building these trucks, I know you mentioned portals and straight axles and different things, and I started with portals. I'm just new to this with Jonathan, and kind of I have neuropathy in my hands, and so I started out doing it just to get myself, trying
It's
to get
probably
myself
really
to
good therapy. That's awesome.
exactly. It is therapy.
Mhm.
It's memory, muscle memory.
Yeah.
So now I went from a portal to a straight axle, a Jeep, and now I got to start adding some weight to it and different things. So it's learning, just like you said, you're learning something new and you're adding something new every time.
And you
So,
learn from
I don't,
so many people. Like, there's so many people that inspired me and I learned from over the years, that it's crazy how much knowledge people have. You know what I mean? That's been in the game long before I was in the game, so it's awesome to learn from people all the time.
Okay. I have a question for you real quick. So who's your go-to manufacturer? Are you like, because I know I've seen some of your rigs and you've got Vanquish axles on some of them, but what if you had to start over with a rig and just build your first rig again? Which one would you have gone to? Like, knowing what you know now, what would have been your choice?
I still would start with an original TRX4, which is what I started with. I honestly, the Vanquish axles are not important. The axial, perfection, the Trio perfection, all the other companies that are out there providing us amazing machined parts that look beautiful. But if at the end of the day you had to strip everything away and you just had one truck, it would be a TRX4 Sport, period. No differential locking, no two-speed, no nothing, just no bells and whistles, no bullshit that you don't need, no frilly axles, no frilly rims, no nothing. Like, if you really had to strip everything away from everything, it would be a TRX4 Sport, and you could beat the living blood out of it, and it will keep on going.
That's what's up. Um, so okay, so we're talking about that. So which one is so the next question is yours. What you got on that one? It says
what do you prefer? I asked that, portals or straight axles, but
you didn't ask it quite that way.
I did.
Well, real quick, Chunky Style says, was that the G-Speed you've been tinkering on lately? Yes, that is the G-Speed I've been tinkering on lately, that I will show you at the end, when we're done answering questions. But my preference is both, because they both have their place. And I think, honestly, I build a truck based on what it looks like it should have, based on the style of rig that it is. So I kind of started with a scalar, and so a part of me always has that scalar base. Like, I can build a cheater and have it crazy, but it's still got to have some sort of like scaleness to it. That's just me. It's just what I have to have. There's guys out there that will run with no body and have nothing on it, and they'll kill every line out there, and that's fine. But I gotta have a little bit. I gotta have a gas can on there. I gotta have a fire extinguisher on there. I gotta have something on there that makes it look realistic, even if it's a cheater. So straight axle, portal, it doesn't really matter for me. It just matters what the rig looks like and whether it makes sense. For instance, the Element Gatekeeper, it makes sense to have trailing arms on it and IFS. It just makes sense. It's a cage rig. It's like something that would go on the pre-runner. It would go in the U4 or something like that. So it's about making sense. The Bronco, same thing. It's got AR-45 straight axles. I did the little upgraded Trio axles or whatever because they look scale. It just looks right. It looks correct. Same thing with the Cherokee. It's got AR-44 rock jocks on it. It just makes sense. It looks correct. It's just, it's kind of like I build a rig based on what it should look like. If I'm going to go based off of the body and at the end result, it's all about putting the rig together in your brain before you even put it together. So
that makes a lot of sense, and it's a lot of what I do too. Because it's like whenever we went, because our first event we went to Crawlers and Coffees down in Apple Valley, and it was like,
which is, man,
yeah, we went and we were like, he was like, he had never even been, he had his rig for a little while. I'd only been doing it about 6 months, and I had gotten a or no, it wasn't even the G Speed. It was I actually sold it at the thing at the swap meet.
the swap meet.
It was HRC Labs or whatever it is. He's from back east somewhere, but it was a Red Cat specific chassis, and so I had my Red Cat. It was stretched out. I had in the work links on it. I had it was a 3D printed 30 over transfer case in it, and so it was completely radically different from what it was. And we went down there and I took it and I was like just learning. I hadn't put foams in. I hadn't, I had weight on it, but I didn't have I was just learning. Like I didn't have any kind of shock on it at all. I had just a Desert Lizard set up from out of the box, And it was like I hadn't even ran with anybody yet, and I was just like, I'm going to this because I wanted to go. So we went, but that was one of the things that I saw was like we saw these bodies and we kept making the comment back to each other. It's like, wow, it's like there's nothing actually left of the body. It's like, I like it to look like a truck, as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man.
There's always, like I said, there's always a part of me that's got to have some sort of scaleness on it to where it looks decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way too, so I kind of agree with you there. That's what makes it, your truck. Like the CJ7, I wanted one of those when I got into this, and now they have one out. First thing I went out and bought, and now I want to work on it.
It looks super realistic. It looks like an actual CJ7, and now these guys are already like making all kinds of parts for it that bring it to that whole other level of scaleness on the cage and the interior with drivers. And I'm sure it's like the Bronco, you could almost put wrestlers in it, because like the Bronco, you could put wrestlers in it and it looks pretty scale because it's such a big interior that that you can get away with a bigger driver. You know what I mean? Those characters are kind of big. They're like an 8-inch character, but it almost fits. You know what I mean? Like it fits that whole scale. So when you look at it, you're like, okay, that looks okay.
Yeah.
So go to Walmart. You got to go to Walmart and scout those little drivers out. And in the movie section, they have drivers too. Like check these out. Hold on. So these are even smaller, and these are like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but they're like the Marlin size. So you could fit these in a TF2.
Oh yeah, so they're 5.3.
Yeah, they're way smaller than the wrestlers. Like, and I got the dude and the chick, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna incorporate those in some sort of build. And I got them on clearance. They were normally like $15 or something, and I got them for like $3. So
yeah, it's like if you look at McFarlane Toys, they have all kinds of stuff like different superheroes and stuff, and they usually have a 5.3 line, and then they have a 7-inch line, so that have smaller drivers, and you can get those at like so you can get like Star Wars characters in a 5.3 or whatever, or just different animation characters.
Yep.
And you can get them in 5.3, which is pretty much a perfect driver size for most of these trucks.
Yeah.
And then you can get them for like $8, $9, depending on where you get them at.
Yep. For real. Heck
So,
yeah.
So I have one last question for you on this stuff, and then we'll just kind of we'll kind of just talk about what you got going on after that. So my last question is, I was going to ask about a perfect build, but I think more of the point is, what are some key pointers for someone building their first rig that they want to be capable? What is it going to take to just make a rig capable? Like, say you go and you got your TRX 4 Sport. What are the mods that you would recommend as far as capability to get it to where you can actually go out and kind of keep up with some other guys and have fun and kind of pace yourself and learn, like a good start point?
I would say cut the factory tires so you don't have to pay the money to get upgraded tires if you can't afford it. There's different kinds of mods on YouTube, and I know Harley Designs has a mod for the TRX4 tires. So for instance, I would do that right off the bat, do the free mods, and then I would do like motor and ESC and probably be good. Like, and that's what people want to hear. That's what people need to know, that is okay, that you can go out and buy a basic truck and do free modifications and get out there and crawl with us. You don't have to spend crazy amounts of money. You can just get out there and help and be a part of it, and then everybody will help you progress. That's the message I want to send. You don't have to go out and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars like us crazy guys that we've done, to get out there and have fun with everybody.
My wife is watching. That's an alleged price and not an actual price. She was on here earlier. There's no hundreds of thousands of dollars involved.
Yeah, you don't want to see my room. Well, let's just say the wifey doesn't want to see my whole room.
That makes sense. We're in the same boat. So yeah.
So this is my current project. This is an ASD awareness crawl build that I'm doing here at a tribute for my brother Brandon. It's got all the autism awareness colors, the spacers, and then my boy Brandon's wings with his camo puzzle piece. And then it's got a Artful Dodgers lay down transmission mount. So the Vanquish trans has been laid down. I did the blue case to kind of set off one of the colors, the shocks, and then the ASD awareness servo, autism awareness servo. And then it's got the limited edition blue Curry AR44 axles that will probably never see pavement, at least for a good while, because it's basically my show rig. So this is a quality build, so it's like basically a representation of what I can put together, and be able to spread awareness for autism. So
yeah, which all the causes are important, because it's always anything you can offer to help people is always good. It's always great to be charitable. It's important,
just
because
in remembrance. I mean, it's really it really sucks to not have him around anymore. So, and I know how much he cared about crawling and how much he wanted to, he was always a part of the people, and it's really sad to not have him around. It's sad to not have that event anymore. So it's my way of just kind of just keeping it alive, and for me it's and sharing the awareness and sharing the love for my brothers, the ASD brothers that are still out there crawling, and they're still out there doing their thing. They're just a disbanded group for now, and hopefully that will change. But it's just my way of just my nod to them, and just making sure that nobody forgets. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, that's important, man. And it's very important. I mean, even with him, it's like, I feel like that's something that we've talked about a lot, is that we need to find. It's hard because it's the local state or the local like townships and stuff. They don't really want to give you anything when it comes to like land, but we need to make some places that are accessible for the older crawlers, the ones that are maybe handicapped, the ones that don't walk well. Because there's a lot of guys out there that are just using this for therapy.
Yeah, because not in every area there's places that guys can go crawl that are in wheelchair, or maybe with a walking cane, or it's not always the evenest terrain out there that we're out there crawling. So it definitely, I'm already worried when I get old, what the hell am I going to do? You know what I mean? So Because I'm like, I don't ever want to stop crawling. So I'm gonna be out there with my walker, like got a remote in my teeth, like just crawling. Like I'm never gonna stop crawling. I love crawling. So
Yeah, that's one thing with him that I'm always looking for is places to go that are, accessible.
oh
Because
yeah,
he doesn't. His thing is with his neuropathy is his nerves have been eaten away by it's basically a disease or what?
Well, it's like autoimmune disease,
yeah,
pyrrhoneuroplastic syndrome. It's very rare. Very few people get it at one. They said one person every 20 years that
yeah.
they see get it. So it's just something they really don't have
But
information
you're
about. But
staying grinding though. You're not letting it hold you down though. That's what I like. You know what I mean? Shout out to Silent Assassin jumping on. That's what's up. We got a few people. Chunky Styles laughing. He's like looking good. That's what's up. Yeah, but just keep it moving, man. Just keep the therapy. Like if it's what keeps you moving, and if it's what drives you mentally to get out there and keep going, that's what's up, man. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, what would you be doing? That's the question you need to
hey,
ask
that's it,
yourself.
man.
What
I'm
would
in
what
bed worrying
would you be
about.
doing if it wasn't for RC trucks?
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the way. The reason I got him into it too was because I figured, it's good therapy because he's using his hands. He's
yep,
having it. Part of it is because of the way his nerves are disconnected. If he's not looking at his hand or his
yeah,
feet, he loses connection with it.
that's what's up.
So so he's walking and he's having to walk and he's having to crawl and he's having to watch the
Yep.
truck. So it's like working all the facets of his
Hey,
brain, and it's
let me,
relatively
and
safe. It's
you
not like
know as well as I do, that's like radio waves, man. Because when you sitting there like when you're trying to get this certain line, it's like you're not even thinking about it. You're moving your hands and moving your legs and all that without even thinking about it. That's the thing. You like so you're building that muscle memory just by just doing that because you don't even realize that you're building that while you're doing that. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Well,
It's amazing. What's
throughout and putting it back in,
up,
it's,
James
I mean,
Stockrider? What's up? What's up, brother?
yeah. So we're saying about taking the screw back in.
well, it's just more about, it's just what he said. I mean, I'm in agreement with you. I'm not handicapped. I'm just a little slow. That's all. That's all. I
Hey,
said,
let's go. Let's go. You know what I mean? I lose
I'll climb
silent
up the
assassin
hill with you. You
silent
just might have
assassin
to
beat
give
me
me
to
an
it.
arm.
It's like it's just trying to catch I try to catch balance on rocks all the time. Yesterday I slipped and busted my ass like I've got a big old bruise on my hip right now from crawling yesterday. Shit.
And I just be a little bit careful. That's all. It's just try to do it. I mean, I've had the buddies
What's up, Cypher
might
RC? What's up? What's up? What up,
flip my
Flame?
arm over or whatever, when I'm out there on the rocks because I can't crawl up in there and they'll flip it over for me and I'm off again. So it's just a beautiful thing
Yeah,
when I'm with a bunch of them.
yeah.
Well,
And
what was nice was
I only went out for an hour yesterday, man. It's like I went out and just ran around real quick. A buddy of mine, Chachi, and another guy, Doug, we met up at this spot that I had never been to real quick. And it's local, but I had never been to. It's only like 30 minutes away. So I had to do some other things with the family at noon, but I ran up there at like 10:30, crawled around for a good hour, and then I blazed up this fucking trail. And that's when I slipped and fell, almost slid down this whole goddamn hillside. But we get used to being in those sketch situations where we can catch ourselves, so it's all good.
yeah, that's for sure. What was I gonna say? I had a thought and it went away.
Nah, man, you guys
Getting
are doing a
no.
good thing though, man. Like you guys are just really just trying to spark it off, and I feel it. Like I'm trying to do my own thing on like Wednesdays and Thursday nights, just hanging out, wrenching, and I appreciate what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you're doing, and we're gonna get there. You know what I mean? We're gonna get there together, and we get to the top together. You don't get
Yeah,
to the top by yourself. I'll tell you that right now. And I'm learning that over this RC time and in other aspects of my life. But you don't get to the top by yourself. We get to the top together. So I can't wait to get to the top with you guys. And, just keep doing what you're doing. And I'll see you on the next one.
So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, spinning some tires.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, shout out to everybody that tuned in and is checking us out and stopping by. And even if it's only for a couple minutes, it means the world to all of us. So thank you again, and I'll see you again. I'll see you guys on the next
All right.
one.
Thanks so much for coming by,
Hell yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. All right, so that was Tyrone Dunkley. That was a good conversation. Did you learn anything you didn't know?
I would say no. I wouldn't say I didn't know. I mean, I don't have it memorized like you guys do, but I know what you're, I know what we're dealing with, and that's why I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 cards sitting here, to play with, and trying to figure out which one I like and what I like about it. And I haven't even ran the straight axle RJ7, CJ7. So I kind of do some upgrades to it before I even run it, and I don't even want to get it dirty though. So I might have buy 2 of them, one to look at and
Just
one
buy
to.
yourself an extra body before they just have a body waiting in the wings, man. That's the way I do it.
Yeah.
So it's like on a moment's notice, it's like I broke a body, I got another one on there, no problem. So I think yeah, so I think that pretty much what's common for everybody in this hobby is love of the hobby. Everyone pretty much loves crawling, they love building, they love tinkering, figuring it out, and improving their stuff. I mean, and Tyrone's just one example. There's a couple other drivers that I want to talk to, and maybe start getting pointers for you for when you do build that first really capable rig. That was a good starting point because it's like, yeah, you don't have to spend a ton of money, and there are tons of mods on YouTube for whatever stock vehicle you have for making it better. Whether it's learning to just droop your shocks out and vent your tires better or foam your tires differently or whatever it is, they're out there and you can find them, and then it's just a series of that. We're probably going to be doing a YouTube channel thing too, so we're going to try and fit some stuff in on that. And when we do that, we're going to try and do real world testing and checking, let him do a mod on his truck and then go out and see if it's any better. So we actually have a spot in his yard which we are looking for rocks. So if you have rocks and you want to be our friend, we could be friends.
Yeah, well, you come over to my yard, you can help me build a track and help me crawl on it. So I'm looking for help any way I can get it. Just friends coming out to hang out and run some trucks up and down the driveway even. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is that we want to be able to, what we want to do is we want to kind of have like EXO's thing, but just our thing, kind of like that track that he has available to him. So we want to build one out here with just live rocks, no, we're paying the shipping. Thanks, Assassin. I don't know that.
It's paying the shipping for the rock?
No, he's going to send them to us, so we're going to pay the shipping. Oh. They charge by the pound, bro. We aren't rich. Hey, I was actually looking at your guys' ESCs today, so it was nice of you to stop by. We really appreciate that. Silent Assassin makes the ESCs. Like we actually know one of your team drivers, Rick Boyster. He's here in our local area. He's a really nice guy. But yeah, I was looking at one of your ESCs today. I have one on a T3 build that I'm doing. They make the small, all encapsulated ESCs for the revolvers and stuff. So, okay, that's cool that he's on here. Yeah. Well, but I think that's pretty much it for the night. I mean,
yeah, we'll call it a night and see you guys next Sunday. And happy crawling and keep on, keep burning your tires up.
Keep on trucking, as it were. But yeah, we appreciate everyone.
I don't know what they say to rock crawlers. Keep on trucking. Keep on crawling.
Yeah. Crawling, not to be confused with pub crawling or crawling home after anything crazy.
Yeah, that's well, you can if you want to, but
see you guys Sunday. Have a great day, man. We really appreciate everyone stopping by.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was a good night. Thanks.